Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is the Bayou Breakdown. We're joined as always by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
I've been better, Brian, but things may be looking down. When one door closes, another door opens. So I'll survive. I think the rest of the season. We'll see.
Yeah, you say you've been better. I'm sure you've been worse too. On the one hand, Jameis Winston tore his ACL. Not great. But on the
No,
other
no, it's not.
hand, the Saints beat the Buccaneers, who are probably the best NFC team on paper. So, you know.
Yeah. They probably are the best NFC team. Them versus the Rams. I think they're pretty close. I think
Yeah.
it's
Hey, but the Bucks beat the Rams, so a
That's
lot
true.
of the transitive property states
True.
that the Saints are better than the Rams. I don't know.
Uh, you're right. Actually, that is correct. And I'm a big transitive guy myself,
Hmm.
so I think that's proof in the pudding there. But yeah, man, I don't know if I'm able to. I was finally warming up to Jameis Winston, and now
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, is he gone? Like, is this it? Like, are we ever gonna see him in a Saints uniform again?
Yeah, ever right? Like we don't know.
Yeah, this is a 1 year deal, man. He could
Oh.
be gone after this. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Is Taysom Hill gonna come in? Are we gonna?
Hmm.
Is Sean Payton on the phone with Cam Newton? Like, that's the biggest question mark.
All right, so we'll get into that. Let's talk about just this game. So the Saints beat the Buccaneers 36-27. Really great team effort here after Jameis goes out. Defense. They let up 27 points, but it is the Buccaneers, and they did seal the game with a pick six, which I saw labeled on YouTube. Tom Brady throws epic game-winning touchdown, which is very funny. Um,
Yikes.
so, what are your thoughts aside from Jameis being injured about that game?
Yet again, it goes to show that our defense, when in this caliber, like we don't necessarily need anybody to make these big plays on the offensive side, right?
Mm-hmm.
We still have a bunch of no-name guys at wideout. Our best guy is probably either Marquez Callaway or Traquan Smith, who on
Mm-hmm.
any other team would be like a three at best.
Right.
And honestly, I think even Trevor Simeon did all right. He balled out on a couple tosses there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, if we can have a game manager come in and do that, maybe we don't need another quarterback, right? And knock on wood. But like Simeon was all right. I think overall, yeah, I think you have to go back and give credit to the defense, though, especially Demario Davis, as always, who has just been a crushing force the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will say, of course, like you said with that video on YouTube, I have been having a good time bitching to my friends about how like Tom Brady and don't give Tom Brady the ball with 2 minutes, or he'll give that to the other team and they will win. So it's been satisfying knowing that we beat the Bucks, but it also very like pit in my stomach knowing that Jameis is gone essentially for the
Mm-hmm.
season at least.
Was this the first or second game against the Bucks this year? Was this the first go around?
This year, I'm pretty sure it was the first. Yeah,
First,
I
yeah. All
think
right.
so.
So regular season, we'll put playoffs aside because it doesn't help our narrative. Um,
Right, right.
Regular season, the Saints are 3-0 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since Tom Brady has arrived, and really, they've been the only team that has been able to like really make Brady look uncomfortable and kind
Right.
of his age, if you will. What
Yeah.
have the Saints done to make Brady look like that, and that the other teams in the league haven't done, from your perspective?
They're not dropping into coverage as much, which is interesting, right? It's all about that D, and you've got those middle linebacker guys just kind of like sitting in no man's land, so Brady can't throw those dink and dumps. He's either got to air it out or he's got to
Right.
throw like a little wheel route, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been good to. I mean, granted, Tom Brady's still Tom Brady, even at 44 years old, he's still absurd.
Yeah.
But by putting the pressure on with our two defensive ends, we got our D line fully healthy again for the most part. And then obviously Demario Davis just sitting there in the middle is just like that's like a troll under the bridge. Like you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
throw there. So I think just that presence of Demario, if nothing else, and just the presence of those middle guys is enough to just kind of make Brady think twice about throwing something through the slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because I have to hand it to the Saints. They've been able to shut down Tampa Bay Brady more than like anyone else. And
Yeah,
again, even without like Trevor Simeon, he's had success in the league, of
it's
course.
been
Like,
fine.
yeah, he's a sixth or seventh round pick. So like, so far as like what you can expect from that draft position, Tom Brady aside.
Yeah,
Like,
sans Tom Brady.
yeah, he's done about as well as he can do, and I wouldn't hate it for the Saints going forward with him, but I guess that just leads us into our next topic. You mentioned Cam Newton, you mentioned Taysom Hill. What are your thoughts? What do you want to see happen at the quarterback position going forward?
Dude, it's chaotic energy right now at the quarterback position. So like it's I don't know, man. Like it's tough to decide because you know what kind of person Cam Newton is. You know what he's capable of doing,
I
and you
hear he's
also know.
vaccinated now, though. So,
Oh, is he?
at least, yeah. So
Interesting.
that
That's an
helps.
interesting change of pace. That actually helps. I feel a little bit better about that. I don't know if it's enough to swing my decision on him,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like if he can even just look a little bit better than he did in New England, he'll be serviceable enough. I just think he was so like his throws were so errant in New England the last year that like I don't know if we need that. Granted, I'm fine with our defense coming out and clutching up, but like I'd be more comfortable with somebody who knows the system, and either Simeon or Taysom Hill. I don't care either way.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. So obviously Taysom Hill, great runner, great gadget player. He got 4 starts last year and went 3-1 in his starts with the loss to the Eagles. Would you say at this point in his career, with Cam Newton's injuries and everything, Taysom Hill is a better passer than Cam Newton showed last year?
That's interesting because if I say yes to that, then there's no need for Cam Newton on the roster at all. Right, because you've already got, if you need a game manager type of guy, you can just go with Simeon. If you need somebody who can use their legs, just go with Taysom Hill. He's already on the roster. So I guess it goes down to how much faith does Sean Payton have in Taysom Hill, and I think that's enough. But seeing how mediocre Jameis was, honestly, through the majority of his first like full season with the Saints playing, and if he beat out Taysom Hill, that makes me question how much viability Taysom actually has as a quarterback on this roster. So I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, they're paying Taysom like $20 million this year, right? Like some
Yeah.
ridiculous like this kid. To me, you gotta start Taysom Hill.
I think
like
you're right.
if you're gonna
That's a
pay
good
him that
point.
much, and if there is even like the slightest bit, which Sean Payton said that he views Taysom Hill as the Steve Young to Drew Brees, Joe Montana. If there's like any bit of that left in Sean Payton's mind, this is the perfect time to like either prove it or be like, okay, doesn't work. Maybe this offseason we try to trade for Russell Wilson. We try to woo Aaron Rodgers away, from Green Bay. Maybe, I think this might not be the best thing for the Saints this season, but this is like kind of good because now they can kind of go into the next season with a definitive, is Taysom Hill the guy?
Yeah, so true with that. And you make such a good point with the salary. I didn't even think about that. I know, like at the end of the season, we can opt out and just be like, all right,
it's
see you,
like
Taysom.
every year opt in or opt out, which is like a great team friendly deal.
Thank God.
And if Taysom Hill balls out, you already have him in that situation where you
Locked
can
up.
just keep going with him. So it's kind of like he did the Saints a huge favor by signing this.
Did.
Granted, I would love to do anyone a huge favor for $20 million. Like whatever, call me up if anyone's interested in that type of a deal for
Sign me
Sports
up.
Talker, right? But I think this is kind of like, I don't want to see Jameis Winston get hurt. We've been positive about him. We've wanted to see him succeed. But if he's gonna get hurt, this kind of works out for the Saints.
Yeah, best case is okay. At least Taysom can start now, right? Like, let's see what we have. If he sucks, we cut him. We get $20 million back in cap, and can go, like you said, trade for Rodgers or Wilson with a chance to win now. They don't have to do much on the offense because you see what the defense does, right? So it's very easy, very straightforward. Maybe we trade for Rodgers now. I don't think that's gonna happen. But
I don't know if the Packers will get rid of him yet, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that he's a free agent next season because I do believe he has an opt-out. I'm sure if you're a Packers fan, you're watching this, let us know if I'm just completely wrong about that, but I thought that was like the whole thing with him signing this year was like the one last ride with his ability to opt out. But I mean, this team is very talented. They are like, it's so unfortunate that like Drew Brees just happened to like age out right when the team kind of got back to a level of like big competitiveness. But I wouldn't. The sky's not falling today. Like even after Winston got hurt, which was pretty early, because I turned it on and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is Trevor Siemian in this game?" And I like texted you. I was like, "Jack, what happened here?"
I know. I don't. I was like reeling at that point because I was obviously in the moment overreacting too. I'm like, oh my god, like this is it. Like what? The hell?
This is the end of the season. Everything's terrible, but you know, you have a chance to at least make the playoffs, if not compete for the division now. I think the Saints are like 1 game away from the Bucs now, maybe even tied because of the bye week. So like, hey, anything's possible, and maybe Trevor Siemian will like come out and like fucking be slinging it all up and down the field, and they'll just make the playoffs that way.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you know, he's a dependable guy, dependable game manager. If he could just go out there and not suck, then like I'm fine with him throwing little slant routes to Michael Thomas in a couple weeks. You know, like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no. Hopefully, Michael Thomas comes back, and then like the Panthers beat the Falcons, but they're both like very mediocre, so you don't necessarily have to worry about those two teams too much. So. Hey, I don't think this is the end of the world for the Saints as a, you know, objective outside observer. Obviously.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, we'll see. Anything else you want to add before we get on out of here for this one?
Yeah, I don't want to dismiss that we got Mark Ingram back either.
Yes.
Which is huge. I don't know. I might be the first to report this here, but he's wearing number 14, which is the opposite of Alvin Kamara's 41, and that goes back to their Thunder and Lightning duo.
That's very fun.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think the vibes are immaculate. If you go and find any of the Saints posts recently about AK and Mark Ingram, they're like doing podiums together, and they're just shooting the shit like they're best buds. So it's like that for me. Awesome to see. Love to see. That.
No, Mark Ingram has always struck me as a really good teammate. He's a very big like hype man for everybody, you know. He was the same way for Lamar Jackson when they were in Baltimore. Like he just seems like a great locker room presence. So happy that he got out of Houston and is going to have a chance to make a run potentially at something this year, if not, you know, next year. But yeah, we'll see. Lots of interesting things happening this week. Mark Ingram back to the Saints. Adrian Peterson is a Titan now. Like,
what the heck?
Von Miller's on the Rams. A lot of movement. Hopefully Deshaun Watson doesn't get traded to the Dolphins. We'll find out this time tomorrow what happens there. But yeah, Jack, thank you so much for your time today.
Man, thanks as always for having me.
And where can we find you online?
The place to find me is on Twitter, and that's at Jack_Tiernan, probably sobbing about Jameis Winston for the next couple of weeks. But we'll survive.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, go follow him there. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. That's BMARR. Channels on Twitter at WickedGoodSport or WG Everything. Instagram at WickedGoodEverything. Twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything. And on TikTok, we have a Wicked Good Sports TikTok. Just search Wicked Good Sports. And we have a Wicked Good Everything, which is more like comedy sketches. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.